I was absolutely delighted when Borbia asked me to do the cook along. So we're encouraging young kids to be able to cook along with me. It's a competition that Borbia are running, and this is it here, Learn to Cook with Nev Maguire. So it's a competition, a Zoom competition, and just kids are really kind of interacting and enjoying some lovely food. So this is one of the booklets, and you can go onto the Borbia website. I'm going to cook this one for you now. It's a chicken and vegetable stir fry, and then we have potato pancakes with scrambled eggs and bacon, and then this here, strawberry marshmallows, some of your fruit with chocolate fondue. So it's very, very simple. We're going to do a lovely stir fry. We're focusing on Irish, seasonal, and very, very important, the Borbia quality mark. So this is when you're looking for meat, especially we're using some chicken here, you know, watch out for that mark. That's really important. So we're supporting and using Irish produce and supporting Irish farmers. So I'm going to heat my wok. We're going to marinate this in a little bit of soya sauce, some ginger, and some sweet chili sauce. So just in a dish, just to make it a little bit easier for you to see, we're going to put in our soya sauce, okay? And then we're going to put in the sweet chili sauce. So give a little shake here to the sweet chili sauce. So this is the corn-fed chicken that I'm using, because I really like the corn-fed chicken. I have 2 breasts, and I just want to show you what we've done is just literally cut it into little strips. Okay, so there's a lovely flavour. It's fed on maize and it's really, really good. Produced up the road in Cavan, so it's nice and local to me. I suppose where I got my love of food was from my mother. You know, from the age of 12, I just knew I wanted to be a chef. So I mean, I must say the great work that Borbia do promoting our wonderful food all over Ireland, but all over the world. So if you can, let that marinate for about 20 minutes. I don't have time for this video, but I'm going to cook this up in a few minutes. I'm going to start to prepare the vegetables. So we're going to use either a small knife or a big knife. We're going to prepare some Bok Choy, whichever you're comfortable using. I like using the big knife. So we're literally just going to get some lovely broccoli florets. So whatever kind of vegetables are in season, a stir fry is great because you can feed the whole family. It's very, very healthy. It's super quick, which is great. We're going to cut down our broccoli nice and small because we do want it cooked. We don't want it raw going in the stir fry. And then we'll just stir fry that. I'll just get another little bit here. So it should be really, really quick and fast doing a stir fry. Now this is an oriental green known as Bok Choy, and it can be grown in Ireland, which is fantastic. And it just shows how far the Irish palate, in my opinion, has come along, that we can grow these beautiful, beautiful broccoli and this lovely Bok Choy. And I'm going to leave it. It's a kind of lovely, crunchy kind of stalk on it. So this is what it looks like there. It's a beautiful, pretty vegetable, great in stir fries, and again it can be grown in Ireland, which is wonderful, and this is grown in Ireland. So literally I'm going to leave them there like that, okay? Might just trim the very, very ends of them. There we go, and that should be enough there. Now, root ginger, a good tip for you if you're using ginger, and I'll actually put this on top of the chicken. So I'm going to use the grater, peel it. You can peel it with a spoon, or you can peel it with a knife, wrap it in cling film and freeze it, and then take it out from the freezer when you're going to use it and remove the cling film. So watch the fingers. I'm going to grate some lovely ginger in here. About half of this should be fine, and then we'll stir all this through. Now garlic, we can grate the garlic too, or you can crush it. I'm going to grate it here, watch the fingers, or you can chop this. So garlic is so healthy and so good for you. So we're trying to get lovely Irish chicken, lots of Irish vegetables in this, and that's what good food is all about. Using what's in season, supporting Irish produce and farmers, and cooking it from scratch. I think that's really, really important. And that's why I suppose the love of food really does start at home. From the whole shopping experience to the cooking experience, that is just so, so important, that we know where our food comes from. Okay, I'm going to heat my wok. Just going to mix through the garlic and the ginger, and we're going to start the stir fry. So it's a really, really simple, quick stir fry. If you can leave that for about 20-25 minutes, it'll be gorgeous. You can even leave it overnight in the fridge. But my best tip to you is, if you're going to cook it and you have left it overnight in the fridge, bring it, take it out 20 minutes before you're going to cook it. So this is some Irish rapeseed oil. You can use some sesame oil. See the way the pan is smoking? That's exactly what I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in all my lovely chicken. So just in goes there. Now, so keep the pan up really, really high. If you're doing this at home, just watch the fingers. It'll begin to caramelize. It gets a little bit smoky, as you can see, and just keep moving this around. So that's really, really important. So just keep moving it around. Keep your gas nice and high, and just keep moving it. So it's important with the chicken, because we cut it nice and thin, it's not going to take too long to cook. So just keep moving it around. So while that is just cooking there, we can just literally get our lovely spring onion, which we're going to finish it in. So see the way I've kind of spread the chicken just all over the base of the actual wok, which is perfect. So nice thin strips of the chicken, that is crucial. Spring onion, we're going to finish it, and we're going to cut it at an angle. Probably 2 of these is enough that I'm going to use. So just literally like this, watch the fingers, and obviously at home, you know, you can use a small knife like that, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to come back to the next one. Just coming back onto the chicken, it's beginning to caramelize lovely, and just keep moving it around. So you'll find if you leave this, especially overnight or for a little while, it'll change colour. It'll get a little bit darker, so it will, and yeah, it'll kind of firm up a tiny little bit because of the marinade. So there's great smells in this, and this is so simple and so quick and so delicious. It can also be done with some nice roast chicken. So you can prepare your vegetables and just cook off your vegetables, add in a little bit of soya, some of the sweet chili sauce, some ginger garlic, and then put in some lovely shredded, that lovely roast chicken if you have some left over. Now, so just to recap, we have our broccoli, we have our really nice bok choy, and then we have our spring onions. So I don't want to put them in yet, just for a minute, because we want the chicken more or less cooked. And when you cut it nice and thin, I think that's the key there. So just keep moving that around, and then we put in our broccoli first, sprinkle in all that. So broccoli is one of my favourite vegetables. I absolutely love it, so I do, and it's really good in a stir fry. You can use any seasonal veg, whether it's courgettes that are in season or nice mange tout or some sugar snaps, because they can grow in Ireland during the season. So remember, just to recap, just when you're looking for that nice Irish corn-fed chicken, you're looking for the Borbia quality mark. Okay, so keep moving it. This is a great one to feed all the family. And when you're using a wok, just kind of, I'm using a spatula, and you're just kind of coating everything there, which is lovely. And the broccoli will start to absorb that sauce. Now we'll put a little bit more soya and sweet chili in it, but we want to make sure that the chicken is cooked through. So we cut them, that was 2 chicken breasts. So say this is the chicken breast, you cut it across the way. So you do, not lengthways, across the way, and then you get nice, evenly thick slices. Now I'm going to put in my bok choy. So about 4 of them. So what we're doing now, everyone, we're going to wilt this, and wilting means that it just cooks down, and it doesn't take long to cook this at all. You want it nice and crunchy. You could use some nice spinach also, I should have said that also. A little bit of fresh basil. It's going to go in at the end, and I'm just going to literally chop this now. So I'm going to gather all this up. We have our ginger in there, we have our garlic in there, and now we're going to put in a little bit more of the kind of sauce ingredients. So fresh herbs, you could use coriander, you can use whatever kind of fresh herbs. Again, this is grown in Ireland, and it's a beautiful, one of my favourites is the fresh basil. So another spoonful of the soya, a little bit of the sweet chili sauce. So these are both produced from an Irish company, so we're using as much Irish as possible. Here we go. And then we just give this a nice stir. Now to serve this, it's beautiful, you know, with some kind of potato if you like, with some noodles, but what I like to serve it with is some steamed rice. So we've just cooked the rice in a little bit of stock, just a stock cube, and I'll just let that sit there. It's nice and fluffy. I'm using basmati rice. You can use long grain rice, you can use noodles, whatever you prefer to use is perfect. So whatever you enjoy, but it definitely needs some kind of carbohydrate. So if you notice that I haven't turned down the pan, and that's really important. You can see the way the bok choy now is wilted. So in goes the spring onion. And very important, always tidy up after yourself. Now I'm going to let that cook for a minute, finish it with some basil. You can put a little bit of salt. You need to be careful with the salt because of the soy sauce. But this is it here. This is the little booklet. Pardon me. So this is the Borbia Quality Kitchen. Learn to cook with Neff Maguire, and the recipes will be online. So that's our chicken and vegetable stir fry, the potato pancakes, with scrambled eggs. Oh my God, hard to beat scrambled eggs, and that really nice bacon. And then we have our marshmallows with strawberries. When you get fruit that's in season like strawberries, there's nothing nicer. So in goes our basil. Always I like to put fresh herbs in at the last minute. And the Mel will just zoom in there. Thank you, Mela. Okay, so that's roughly, you allow 1 chicken breast per person. And then we're going to serve this up. So that should be more or less cooked. It doesn't take long. Real time, you'll see me cooking it. If you can marinate it, the chicken a little bit longer than what I've done it, definitely you'll see a difference in the colour and definitely the flavour. It's still be delicious as I've done it now. So we just get our rice. We're going to bring this over. I'm going to use a nice big spoon for this. So again, you can use noodles or some kind of potato, but it's nice to mix it up. For me, potatoes are one of parts of Irish food that's so important, and when I cook in the restaurant, we always serve some lovely Irish potatoes. So now what we do is bring over our wok, and be careful when you're doing this. You want to get that nice sauce ingredients there. So you have your Bok Choy. You could put in some cashew nuts into this. You could put in some fresh chilli. And again, they can be grown in Ireland, which is fantastic. And then a little bit of that sauce. So it's very simple, very, very quick. The key is to cut the broccoli nice and small and the chicken. And then I'm going to serve this now to Connor and Lucia. They're my twins. And hopefully they'll enjoy this. So that's a really, really simple and quick recipe using the very best of Irish produce. And that's from the chicken to the vegetables, served with some steamed rice. That is my stir-fried chicken with broccoli, Bok Choy, and finish them with a little bit of fresh basil and spring onion. Thank you so much.